guarantee that I can throw the same shot. He had some
Exactly.
of those the
It's
side
always
like
the disc.
hydro flip shots. Like went down the fairway. I was like,
Yeah, it's the disc, not the.
You saw some good shots out of that white recoil for sure. It was flying good then.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bag full of all companies in it, and I think, you know, I go to different events like this particular one, the Trilogy Challenges. I'm able to get my hands on different Trilogy discs over the years, and I keep, you know, some stay in my bag, and some I donate to kids out playing disc golf, and I would say that I really like the Ballista Pro. I didn't actually get that in a player's pack for the Trilogy Challenge, but I did get it. I got a Dude's Dub stamp one, and that thing, the first time I threw it, I almost aced. I was like,
anytime you can get a good first memory with the disc, I feel like sometimes it like boosts your ability to throw it, because we all know we have like those discs that we'll throw a couple bad shots with in a row, and then we kind of start thinking like, oh, is it the disc or is it me?
Yeah, but
anytime you can have something.
yeah,
like
you're
that,
like,
it's
I
always-
almost hit the chains. I'm gonna keep this one in my bag.
Yeah, it's always fun.
yeah, that'll do it for sure. So what else? You putted with a gauntlet. We had you video like a long, like a 50, 55 foot putt on a.
Yeah, so I putt with the gauntlet. It's just it's kind of got your bullet shape and a big bead. I like the big bead for the putter because it's kind of is where I like to line up my finger when I'm holding the disc. So I just it's funny. I was putting with a G Star P2, and then I had this Casey Pro AVR a couple years ago, and one of my buddies, he went out and he beat my butt with it, and I was like, oh, it must be that putter. I'm gonna start using it. So I started using the Casey Pro AVR, and then I was watching Ricky Wysocki, and kind of as I was trying to learn the game and like copy guys' forms, I was like, okay, me and Ricky we're similar body shape. We're both like about 6'4", and we both throw some similar shots. So I thought, you know, I'd copy his putting style,
Right.
and I figured the stiff plastic was good for that. So the Casey AVR kind of worked, and then when I switched to Latitude, I went over to Disc Nation and grabbed the gauntlets and grabbed some daggers and kind of just was going back and forth. But the gauntlet it was coming out clean, and it was doing what I expected the Casey AVR used to do. So it made the bag for me.
Yeah, and you threw the shield as well. So how do you decide which one of those you're going to throw, a shield or a gauntlet?
So I really don't throw my putting putters very much at all. Although recently I have been kind of thinking about doing it more because it's taken me a while to beat these shields in. They definitely hold their stability pretty long. But yeah, I kind of avoid throwing my gauntlets just because I don't want any like big gashes on them, because I like to kind of be able to line my putter up in a certain spot. For some reason I was like the stamp up, but then if I do have to move it because there's like a nick where that spot is, then I will. But I don't like too many big nicks on my putters. So yeah.
So you putt with a gauntlet and you throw off the tee sometimes.
I throw
with
the shield a lot off the tee. Yeah.
Yeah, we compared that with the chainsaw, and very similar, huh? As far as how they flow.
The shield and the chainsaw, you could blind test them, and you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're both probably that 3-speed disc. You know, they've got a kind of shallow profile, but not super shallow to where it's uncomfortable. And then they have a small bead on them. They're glidey, they're overstable, but not discs that are going to be finishing very hard for you. They're just not discs that are going to turn unless you really set them over. So really good putters. Also probably good putters inside the circle. I just like a little bigger bead on my putters, but I'm sure for a lot of people like putting with that putter.
So many different putters with so many different edges. A lot of it has to do with just feel, kind of like what you're either used to, or you get into it and you, like you said, you throw a couple putts, it goes and you're like, oh, this must be the putter for me.
Well, that, and he holds it. He looks at the disc too with the stamp. He wants to look at it like this when he's holding it.
Yeah, it's something about my brain just makes me want to line it up like that at first. But if there's
like,
a spot, then I'll spin it around.
Big Irish. I'm gonna make this.
And who makes, is it the Cirrus? Someone else has a disc that has the different.
The Cenis.
Is it has different pads on it? That has
Yeah,
like
the
different
Cenis.
textures?
It's an overstable putting approach, but it has like 3 different pads with almost like a plastic sandpaper. Like I almost describe it as like sandpaper pads.
Almost
I know
good for
Nico
water.
Locastro really likes his Cenuses a lot. He uses them for hyzer putts or as like his long step putts. So it's a good disc. For me, I consider bagging it, and I was throwing it for a little bit, but it was very similar to the Harp, and
Right.
I'm trying to have as few molds as I can in the bag so I can minimize like having to make those decisions all the time.
For sure. You can carry 30 discs in your bag and end up throwing like 5 a whole round. You're like, why am I carrying the other ones? Just in case?
Yep. Just in case. Yeah, I have. I carry like 30 discs, and sometimes I play with 3.
So not
Also,
best
yeah,
friends?
that sometimes alters just course to course. You know, like I'll go play Roy G. Longs, and I feel like I'm throwing the same driver about 12 times because I'm just trying to finish long and straight. So I think certain courses bring out different discs, but yeah, it's always kind of fun to see what your go-tos are, even like no matter what the course is, and then what discs are kind of more specialty discs. But I feel like you always want to be prepared. So I'm definitely of the mindset that I'd rather have 5 discs that I'm not going to throw, but I think that I could use in certain situations, and then deal with a little bit extra weight. But
I know Dave Fehlberg back in the day when he played a lot, I think he carried like 55 discs. He was known to carry like 3 or 4 of each
feel like I've
different
heard-
disc.
I feel like
and
I've
he would
heard
have
some of that.
caddies. He's like, oh, help me out. You know, anybody want a caddy for me? And I'm like, oh, it's Dave Fehlberg, I'll do it. And I saw this big long bag, and he liked that. He liked having 3 or 4 slots of each one that were different stabilities. And I don't know what he all threw, but I think he really kind of like played a bit like a piano, the whole thing.
yeah, I mean, I feel like 28 discs is about all you need. Maybe if you're getting into the low 30s, it might be a bit excessive. But if you're at a course, maybe there's a lot of water hazards or something, you need a couple extra distance drivers in case if you want to keep your aggressive game style and still have some discs to throw. Then I guess it depends where you are. But
Yeah, like at Moody's,
Yeah.
you have opportunity to throw in a few ponds over there.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, I hope I still have this disc in my bag for the next.
Yeah.
But how often does it happen? I've had many shots over water where I have my water disc, and the water disc doesn't go in the water. So it's like if I just threw with confidence my disc that really I wanted to throw, I probably could get over the water. But I throw another disc like I don't care if I lose it, and of course it goes over the water and doesn't go in.
That's a good point. I think that's a big reason why I've kind of stuck with just like stock discs since I've been in the game, so I don't get too attached to like people. People want this 2007 run of plastic that's like they pay $50 for, and then you're scared to throw it in certain situations, and I feel like it can hurt your score. It might be cool, but I feel like the more stock stuff you can throw it, or you don't get too attached. Obviously, if you have a disc for a long time and you've worked it in, you're gonna want it, but
Because then it becomes a mental game. Then if you have like a star, not a star, but a CE like old Valkyrie or something, and you know it's like worth $200, and you're throwing it, and you're like trying to win your tournament, but you're
yeah,
thinking
it's
like
too much to think about.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
You just want to.
Leave that one at home, right?
Yeah.
You leave that for the casual rounds.
I don't know. There's going to be people that disagree with that, and that's the beauty of the game. You can do it however you want to do
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest or highest rated disc golfer you played alongside?
In a tournament round or just played with?
Either one or both.
Because I played with Wysocki. We played a Zilker Mini together, so got to play around with him. That was fun. I was super nervous on the first 9 holes and was putting like crap, and then I went 8 for 9 on the back and ended up having a good back with him on the card, so that was fun. But in a round, I've played with Matt Oram. I've played with who I think he's in the 1030s.
Matteo.
He was a cool guy to play with. Played with Brad, obviously. Mason Ford, another high-rated player out of San Antonio. So I've played with a good number of guys. Emerson, who I guess he's hitting the
Like
1030s
Emerson too,
now.
yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the local Texas guys, and then only a couple guys out of state. Haven't really got to get out of state too much for tournaments yet, but
And
hopefully
you're
here soon.
gonna tour with Mason, right? Or go to a couple bigger tournaments?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little Oklahoma swing here at the end of summer, I think, and go hit for sure the Norman Pro-Am. I know he's probably gonna go the weekend before that to the Ponca City Open. I'm still deciding if I'm gonna go to that or not, but yeah, we're gonna do that, and I think we're gonna go to Jonesboro together in October as well. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah, like Mason's a good guy.
He's super cool.
for sure.
We've seen him up and coming. I think the first time I saw him throw was in Waco. Small guy, but throws like a freaking champ.
Yeah, super clean thrower. I mean, he's just a really hard worker. He works at his game every day, and I think that's something me and him have really bonded over. We've really come to like each other because of that, and we also help each other with each other's game. He's given me a couple pointers on my backhand. I've helped give him confidence in his sidearm, just like seeing him throw it and like kind of nagging him like, hey dude, why are you not trusting this? Like it's a really good option for you. So I think yeah, it's been good having someone like that in the similar shoes, trying to do the same stuff as you, right in the same area. So.
No, about the same rating.
No, he's got me by about 20 points right now. But
All right.
yeah.
Now you got something to work for,
I'm
right?
playing catch up. So. He knows I'm coming.
And he lives on a course, right? He has like two courses.
Yeah, he's got a little course right in his backyard, and as well as like a par 2 marksman 9-holer. So yeah, he's got he's got a good place to practice every morning. for sure.
Where do you practice all the time?
Well, actually, I live like 3 minutes away from this little 9-hole church course, Life Austin, right off 71. So in the mornings, a lot of times I'll go put over there or throw. I don't throw too many rounds out there because there's a lot of poison ivy and like thorns, but I'll mainly kind of go throw approach shots between the baskets and putt out there. But playing wise, ever since all the courses have opened back up, I'm definitely leaning Roy a lot and then Met Center a lot. I sprinkle Circle C in there. And then, I do like Bible Ridge for sure. But I was playing that like all of the quarantine, so I kind of got burnt out on it a little bit. But I definitely going to start sprinkling it back in now that I have all the options back.
I love Circle C, but it chews up all my discs so much.
Yeah, that's definitely a big complaint there. But hey, if you want to go work in a disc real quick, go throw a round of Circle C and throw it on every hole, and I guarantee it'll have a little more turn to
Just
it.
one round,
Yeah.
Just season it up.
But yeah, those C plastic throwers definitely are kind of like Circle C too much.
Yeah, the Bible Ridge was my very first tournament.
Nice.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was,
One of those Slaughter Creek battles.
Slaughter Creek battle. Yeah,
I've looked back on the pages and seen.
It's been that around that long?
yeah, 2010, I believe.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Okay.
That was my first tournament.
Still seems like a new course.
Yeah, it was pretty new then. It was probably a year old,
Okay.
maybe longer. And the first time I played it was the Wednesday before the tournament. That was wild.
I mean, they haven't run a tournament there since I've been playing disc golf, so. But it is in the best shape right now that it's been in a while. I know I went out there and helped clean up a couple holes, and another local guy, Wyatt Hardingberg, has been helping clean up some of the holes out there. So it's looking really good, but they did get rid of 2 of the best par 4s on the course.
Oh,
so that's the only thing the course really lacks is a little bit of more distance, but it's got some fun shots for sure.
So what about the 2 A and B holes? Are those getting some love up there?
Yeah, they got trimmed a little bit, but I mean, I just don't think they play great, especially like if you're trying to run a tournament out there. I think there's a couple holes that just aren't really safe to throw, as well as like unless you have a number of spotters out there, it's going to be hard to keep track of discs.
Well, we almost did World War Z out there at Bible Ridge.
Yeah.
Sean Worley, who actually came up with the idea to do World War Z and get us off the couch. First was Bible Ridge, I'm talking about doing that one, and then all of a sudden Moody's popped up, and he was talking about that one, so we're like, okay, well, you do your research, check it out, see who's really wanting us out there and what we think, and Moody's it was.
It would have been exciting though to have a tournament at Bible Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of felt like my home course during the quarantine. I work like 10 minutes down the road, so it's definitely a course. I've got some quirky little lines I like throwing out there.
yes.
I've got some fun lines I like throwing out there, and some eagles I like running after. It's a fun course for that.
The
if you
local
got a longer
routes.
arm. Yeah.
What was it, hole 11? That's like the...
That's a good hole. Yeah. That's one of the harder. That's probably the hardest par 4 on the course.
Do you throw a big Annie over the top, or...
Yeah, I'll go big Annie on the left side there.
That's usually what I try for. During my tournament, I actually had my Valkyrie stuck in a tree, like 40 feet in the air, just trying to do that big Annie line.
Yeah, I've definitely lost a couple discs on that line. It's a tricky one.
And if you get too far to the right, you could get lost and you could be hanging or in deep brush or down a cliff.
Yeah, I mean the other day I thought I threw like my best shot ever on that hole, and then I couldn't find my disc. So I was like, oh, nice. I guess this is Bible Ridge for you though. But that was before it got mowed and stuff, so it was looking a little hairier.
So what are you working on your game now to get you from 996, you said, to like say 1020? Like what does Connor need to get there?
I think the biggest things for me